With the end of the format coming into fruition soon, hopefully because of a ban list coming out not too long, I'd like to get my opinions out on the pure Sky Striker variant, and discuss my build of it, and also discuss possible future builds, depending on whether or not Engage or Hornet Drone gets hit on the ban list. I'm likely seeing Hornet Drone getting hit. I don't see Kugari or Engage getting hit, at least not to more than semi-limit. So instead of talking about, let's just get right into it. For the monsters, 3 copies of Ray. It's standard, you gotta play them. 2 copies of Phantom Skyblaster. I think this is better than Scapegoat in this deck. Scapegoat's a bit slow, and this thing is just allowing you to make just big, huge plays. Making Borload or Bomber Dragon to break boards, or Boral Sword to just go out and straight up kill your opponent. So yeah, that's it for the summons in the deck. For the hand traps, I played 3 Droll. I think it's best against Goki, which is a super hard matchup for this deck. Not as hard as, like, say, playing Pure Invoked, but it's still a pretty hard matchup. 2 copies of Ash. This is the least impactful hand trap right now. It doesn't stop enough. It doesn't stop Kugari. It doesn't stop Engage. It's pretty good against Draco, and it's almost okay against Goki, but in those instances, you'd rather have things like Ogre or Droll. 3 copies of Veiler. It hits Rogue. It hits EBC. It's bad against Draco. But it's also pretty good against Pure in the mirror match or invoked versions of the deck. So, that's all the monsters. For the spells, 3 Engage. Obviously, you gotta play it. 3 copies of Widow Anchor. It's like the best removal card in the deck. Afterburners is pretty good. I only played it 2 though, because I don't like seeing this in my opening hand. I'd rather open Widow Anchor because it's a quick play spell. This thing basically does nothing for going first. 1 Jamming Waves. This is pretty good. I don't like it at more than 1 though. It's pretty searchable, and I never really hit it off Desires. 1 Shark Cannon. This thing is actually extremely good. I'm glad I had put this in for the event these past few weeks because it hits like stuff like Skarm and just weird like Fairy Tale Snow is also pretty huge. This is again pretty huge against. Just getting a monster and then booking something is pretty nice. And plus, it doesn't have like Widow Anchor's thing where it's until the end of the turn. It's just permanent. So you just can keep it and you can link it away later. I played 2 copies of Multi-Roll. 3 is too much, 1 is too little. It's perfect. I like this card, really. It's got the combo with the field spell, which can be pretty big. It's always nice. 3 copies of Hornet. I like this card. I really do, but I don't think it's going to last long on the list. I think this is going to probably be the most likely card they're going to hit. I don't think they're going to hit Engage. 2 of the Field Spell and 1 Terraforming. Field Spell is pretty good, but it's only really good game 1. It's not amazing in a grind game. The only thing it's really good is to get rid of like dead tokens or dead like things to let you free up your main monster zones, so you can keep using your spells. For the normal spells, 2 Called by the Grave. 3 was too much. I only want to open this going first. It's not amazing going second. 2 copies of Foolish Barrel of Goods and 1 of the Fusion. It's Upstart. That without Upstart, it's pretty good. 2 Desires. I've been told this is probably wrong to play in this deck, but I've not really had any problems with it. The only thing I've ever like actually hit that actually hurt was hitting like Afterburner or Jamming Waves in the grind game, which is like that's definitely an issue, but it's not that bad. Upstart and Rhoda, they're just free stuff you can get in the graveyard going first. For the extra deck, you play 3 copies of Kugari, obviously 3 copies of Shizuku for the grind, and especially in the mirror, this is really good. 2 Hayate. I don't like 3. 2's pretty good. It allows you to go second if you open a Hornet Drone or Ray and nothing else. I played 1 Borload, or excuse me, not Borload, Bomber Dragon. I played this over Boral Sword because this actually breaks boards better than Boral Sword can. I do kind of regret not playing Boral Sword at all. I think this was definitely the better option between the 2, but I'm definitely going to try to find room for the Boral Sword after these past few events. Trisbana, better than going into time. This is what I cut Boral Sword for. This was really good going into time. I don't regret playing this, but I still need to find room for Boral Sword. Unicorn, Phoenix, these are pretty good, but Cerberus was probably the least impactful out of the Nightmares. Probably going to cut this for the Boral Sword. Yeah, and then Space Insulator and Link Spider. It's the best like generic stuff when you're making when you're link climbing into with Sky Blaster. For the side, I played 3 copies of Ogre. This deals with the problem instead of just Ash or Valor, where it just gets or turns off the problem for a while. This actually gets rid of it. It's good against. It's pretty good in the mirror. Hitting Kagari can actually hurt sometimes because hitting the Ray can hurt sometimes. Getting Kagari can be nice because then you can leave their field open. They don't have the ability to link into Shizuku and get like stuff for later. 3 red reboot for Ultrageist. This was pretty good. This deck loses to Imperial Order, so this thing just outs it altogether. 3 Night Beam. I played this over Twin Twister, and I played Cosmic Cyclone. This is better against Trickstar, and this is better against Pure. It stops These both stop multi-roll. This one's better at it, though, and deals with the problem entirely. This thing stops Scapegoat and Reincarnation, which is huge. And for the last card in the deck, I played 3 copies of Shared Ride in the side. This thing is so good. It brings back the Maxi feels. It's so nice to play this. It's good against basically everything. Draco, ABC, Invoked, Pure, the mix of Trickstar. It's good all across the board. I'm actually sad I didn't bring this to the regional. I played Sphere modes over this because I was really afraid of Goki. But this thing is so good. I'm not going to take it out anytime soon, at least not in the format we're currently in. So yeah, that's everything for the deck. The only changes I'd make is finding a way to put Bomber, or leave Bomber, excuse me, not Bomber, put Boral Sword in to help push for game, which was one of the biggest problems I found this deck had. It couldn't really push for a lot of damage really fast, and Sky Blaster is basically your 1-card OTK if you can get it set up properly. Other than that, I think that's about it. So, like, comment, subscribe, leave any comments saying that if you want to help me out fix the deck, if you have any suggestions for the deck, or anything going in the next format if Engage or Hornet gets hit. I will see you guys later. Bye.